Hi, today we'll do a short video for a change. So I'll be working on this PS2 Slim. This is what 7K series. This thing works, no problem. It just has one annoying feature, which is it's not reading PS1 games. So it reads PS2 games, no problem. Doesn't read PS1 games. And yes, I did check I cleaned the DVD slash CD laser. I did try adjusting the pots, the CD pots. There are pots that you can adjust. I've used multimeter and all that. I can make another video if you want to how to adjust those to prolong or sorry to try and make the DVD or CD work. But again, it doesn't really work all the time. Sometimes you just can't help, and it also won't. It will only prolong the life of your drive for some time, and then the laser will go bad eventually. Anyway, so to do this, so I'll be replacing the laser. I bought this laser on the on AliExpress, so I'm not sure. Mixed feelings. We'll see if it works or not. If it works, I'll put a link in the description so you can buy those. They are fairly cheap. I can't even remember how much I paid for it. But anyway, so this supposedly fits this revision. Now with this, obviously you need to be careful. First of all, don't touch the laser. And the other thing is that you will need to remove this. I'm not sure if it will focus, but here there's a blob of solder right here. So you will need to remove that before installing it or powering it up, because if you install it with this blob of solder, you will most likely destroy it. So to do that, I'll just use, let me move that to the side, just use soldering iron. And how do I keep it in place? I'll make a small contraption, maybe like this. Yeah, so I'll just hold it right here. So I'll just use a wick, just cut off the old piece and just heat it up and remove that solder. You can probably just swipe the thing, but there, I'll show you the result. So that's all done. So I'm not sure if you'll be able to see where that blob was right here on these pads. So there's like 3 pads, and they were all connected with that blob of solder. So going back to the PS, obviously you will need to remove 6 screws. They are right here underneath these covers. Don't lose these covers, because without them the back of your PS will look ugly. So I'll remove those. Right there. You may have one of these. I think it's this one or this one. There may be a warranty sticker or some sort of a sticker, so you will need to remove that. Now let's go ahead and quickly remove those. Okay, with these screws removed, the top should come off. Just like that. Now here's the DVD. Let me try and zoom in. Yeah, that's all I can do, unfortunately. There's 2 tabs that you will need to remove. So the laser is obviously right here. So we'll need to remove this tab here. Let me try that. So there's You see that rail here? This is the rail that the laser kind of drives on. And there's one tab holding that rail, and there's another tab right here. So there's a very small screw there. You will need to remove those two tabs. So let me do it now. Okay, this should be okay. By the way, don't lose these tiny, tiny screws. Just like that. And this should now come off. Just like that. We will also need to remove this metal piece. You can remove it before and after you take this laser out, but I'll remove it now. This screw is different, so put it in a safe place. And this laser should now, you should be able to remove that laser, but first what you need to do is to detach the ribbon cable from there. So just there's this connector right here, so you need to lift up this tab, this brown tab. So I usually do it with a fingernail, and it just comes off. So that's your laser. Put it aside, slide the new one. There will be no harm if you add some lubricant, but I'll do it later. And I'll put this thing back in its place. Actually, before I do that, I need to obviously, sorry, I take it apart, take it away again, connect this ribbon cable. So remove that. Make sure it sits there like fully. Make sure the distance here is the same as here. So just make sure it sits there. And now we are going to put this back. Again, be careful with it. Don't touch the laser if possible. So I'll put it back here. This plastic tab has moved, but that's okay. There's another white plastic tab here. Not sure if you can see it focus right here. It's just essentially holding this in place as well. So once this is in place, yeah. So there's a rail here as well. So you need to put this plastic in the rail, this one, and then we can go ahead and install this back in. So this big metal tab. Right there. And we'll put these tabs back in there. Put this one back in place. Right here. Just like that. There's like holes and pins that you have to align. So just right there. I'll show you that. So I'll show you that on this one. So these are the pins. This one, and the screw goes here, and the same. So one pin here, the screw goes right there. So I'll put the other one in its place, right there. And now the screws. This one's done. Ideally, you should probably add some Loctite or something. And that's it. That's pretty much it. So let me just do a quick clean of that laser. Just to make sure it's clean. Just like that. Okay. I'll put the case back. I won't be screwing it back in, but I'll just put it back. Actually, just we can try that without the back, but you can, in order to for the PS to actually detect your that you have the CD or DVD in, you need to, there's two like connectors that you need to push, because that's how it detects the lid is closed. One is here, the other's right here. So you need to push them and your drive should start spinning. Okay, so let me connect this to power and my capture device so we can see if it works. Okay, so everything's connected. Power, video output, controller, what else? That's it. Just to show, so I have two games here. One is PS1, one is PS2. So let's start with PS2. So I'll just put it in here, and as you can see, if I power it on, nothing happens. Let me share my. So I'll show you it just starts. That's all. And now you won't be able to see this, unfortunately, because I will be using my two hands to do that. Actually, yeah. So if I do this, you will see the drive start spinning. So again, I'm pressing this tiny switch here, and this one starts spinning. Now I will break it, so we will stop. Let me reset the whole thing, and I'll share my output window so that you see it'll start, and then I'll press those switches again. Let me maybe like this so we can see it spinning there. So start spinning, moment of truth. Okay, looks like it is actually reading the disk. Now I'm not sure how I'm going to press the button because there's not no memory card. But yeah, clearly it reads the disk. Okay, let's do it one more time. I'll put my controller here, right here, so that I can press the button. So I'll press that. Will that work? So that works. So PS2 games work perfectly fine. Yeah, clearly it does read those. So let me reset that again. I'll switch the game to PS1 game. And again, let me share the thing. So I'm going to press both switches or buttons, or however you want to call it. And believe it or not, it works. Will it? That disk is scratched, unfortunately, but yeah, it does read it. So I'm calling it a success, clearly. I'll just wait just to make sure. Yeah, perfect. So let me just get rid of this. I'll power it off. As you can see, so I'll share the link to this exact laser that I bought on AliExpress. Again, it wasn't very expensive as far as I remember. I bought it a few months ago. I just didn't have time. So fairly easy job, like 10 minutes job if you're not recording. 10-minute job, and yeah, that's works perfectly fine. I'm very happy. And I have several of these with bad lasers, so I'll go ahead and buy more of these. Let me show you what I... Obviously, when you're doing this, it's worth taking care of the mechanics. So what I do, I usually, first of all, clean the laser, just be very gentle. Then clean those rails, both of these, with isopropyl alcohol. So, and don't, by the way, don't use these regular Q-tips. Don't use this because they will leave a lot of stuff behind. So use these. Just clean it. Preferably you can clean this one while you have it kind of, well, disconnect the power. When you remove the laser and all this, because you can then clean it both sides. Slide it a few times just to make sure you remove everything. Same thing with here, old, whatever was here. And also clean these rails as well. Again, I should have done that before replacing the laser, but I wasn't really sure if it's going to work. So that's one thing that I do. And then another thing is I use this white lithium grease, and I don't know, it should be used for this, but it works for me. I've used it for years and it works perfectly fine. This is probably the bad idea. You should probably have it in a kind of liquid form, more or less, because what I do with this, I need to, because this will obviously spray everything around. So I just take a little bit of to some sort of cup or something. Let me show you. So some sort of a container. So I'll do it off camera because I will spray it all over the laser, which I don't want. Okay, so I've got it here. Then take a clean Q-tip, again the lint-free Q-tip, and just put some stop essentially right there. Don't need to use much, don't overdo it. Move the laser, put it on the other side. A little bit underneath there. Move the laser again. And that's it. That should be enough. That should take care of it. One last thing that you may do is to again take another clean Q-tip and clean this area here. But again, this one is fairly clean, so I'm not going to do this. And that's pretty much it. You're done. So again, this is a success. As I said, I'll post the link to that laser in the description. And that's all for today. Thanks for watching. Sorry about that. I'll do something else next time.